Dear Diamonds and fellow Diamonds in the Rough, there's a lot of back and forth going around the streets right now when it comes to Genshin Impact versus Wuthering Waves. Now, we all know Wuthering Waves launch was pretty rocky, like the launch isn't perfect. Now, for the majority of people, the game works just fine, but for a good portion of people, unfortunately, they cannot log in just yet or play the game in the best quality possible. I think it is very unfortunate, and all game launches, especially gacha game launches, typically always suffer from problems like these. So it's not something that's just exclusive to just Wuthering Waves and is like an indicative that Wuthering Waves is going to be a very, very bad product. That's definitely not the case in my opinion, because even Genshin Impact, according to a lot of people, had a very, very rocky start. Because a lot of the Genshin players that are currently existing came to Genshin a little bit later, more so than the day one players that were there like on launch, on the go. I want to go over what the streets think about Wuthering Waves shortcomings, give you guys my thoughts. And this is not a fire at Genshin, but more rather cancel out the noise that the Genshin stands are making towards Wuthering Waves. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the biggest thing you hear right now is Genshin had better optimization and launch than Wuthering Waves. Okay, so let me cancel that immediately. Genshin did indeed have a lot of problems in its launch. Like the launch was also rocky for some people. Probably the same portion of players in Genshin Impact's day one launch had problems with it as we do right now in Wuthering Waves. The problem of why Wuthering Waves optimization issues on launch are such a big deal because we have a very, very vocal minority in the Genshin community, typically known as the Genshin stands in the streets, are basically very vocal and coming after Wuthering Waves because of these little shortcomings that are, as we said before, that are very natural for a gacha games release. Now, I want to go ahead and counter that by simply saying, if the optimizations are going to take 3 days to be fixed, or say, heck, I would say even a week, why not look at it as in the game was delayed a week, but because of that delay, you got an extra free 10 pull and a free 5-star of your selection. I'm pretty sure no matter how hard you play the game, there's no way for you to generate any amount of resources that will equate what I just said. Like, that's just too much resources given out to you for free because of these shortcomings. So if anything, for me personally, I know it's easier for me to say because I can actually play the game as you see, but for me personally, I would take the trade of no Wuthering Waves for 1 more week, and I get a free 10 pull in the limited banner, plus a standard 5-star selector of my own choosing. I don't know about y'all, but I'll take it. Before we move on, me and chat want to give a massive, massive salute to all the players that can't play Wuthering Waves, but are still took one for the team, for us that could play Wuthering Waves, and we get to take the free 5-star and the free 10 pull. You guys are the ones that made it possible. So from the bottom of our hearts, from everybody that can play Wuthering Waves right now, we appreciate your service. You guys are truly different. And I hope you can stay your hand from anger and frustration. Appreciate what you guys managed to achieve. If it wasn't for those issues, if it wasn't for you guys taking the hits for us, we wouldn't be having an even more magnificent game. And most importantly, I feel like a better relationship between the devs and us, the players, and just how responsive and receptive the devs are. I don't know about y'all, but that gives me a lot of confidence and belief in the future of Kuro Games and their relationships with us, and obviously through that, the Wuthering Waves future, because this is worth our time, this is worth our resources, because don't forget, gacha games not only require your time, which is the most important thing you have, but also your resources, your wallet. So this feels like it's worth it. I don't know about y'all, but this feels like it's really, really worth it because of the things they are willing to do and the hand they're always willing to reach out in case they are in the wrong. I hope that debunks the optimization issues, because I don't know about y'all, but if I could go back in time for Genshin starts and they could give me this trade, I will take what's happening right now with Wuthering Waves 1000%. Chat, type 1 if you would take that trade, type 2 if you would not take that trade. You want to play the game immediately, or you can wait a week and then you can play it with a free 5-star and a free 10 pull. 1 plus 2. I mean, hey, 1 plus 2 is the people that can play Wuthering Waves right now. So yeah, I think a lot of people would love nothing more but to do that, in my opinion. Wuthering Waves will fail because we think so. That's just doom posting at its finest. You just see a lot of people that are just unreasonable. They don't really give much arguments about why Wuthering Waves will fail. They just go, "Oh, the story sucks. The VAs suck." Well, that's like a one patch resolution. So, like, why are you doom posting the game so bad? Like, I don't understand. What are you trying to say? What are your arguments? We don't understand you. Oh, it's a story driven game. I'm sorry. If the combat is good, that's enough to carry a game. Well, actually, it's not. You need to do this shit because the story game is like Genshin. If it's a story based game, so it means the story needs to carry it. Not necessarily, because there's literally a genre that is called fighting games. All those games have to offer is the combat. A combat is more than enough to carry a game. Trust me. CSGO, Valorant, whatever game you're into, you're not there for the story, you're there for the combat. All right? Let's call a spade a spade. So combat is enough to carry a game, if done right, which I think Wuthering Waves combat is very solid. All right, Genshin will succeed because it survives all this time despite it being a 2 packs of ass. Okay, so Genshin did prove that it is a survivor, but the time has come. The biggest competitor is finally here. Genshin was a unique product for the longest time. That time is over. That's why they're finally giving us a endgame content in the form of the theater thingy, which apparently has some issues, which I will be covering soon. That's why they're giving you like more primo gems in the Spiral Abyss. Finally, Genshin is making a move. Of course, coincidence that it's happening as Wuthering Waves releasing, but it goes to show that even Hoyoverse Genshin Impact's department, as lazy as they are, understand that, yeah, okay, our time of us just being completely 1000% lazy is over. Like, okay, Wuthering Waves is here, that we have a true competitor. Tower of Fantasy don't count. So we gotta strap ourselves in, because if you think Wuthering Waves is just another Tower of Fantasy, you're stupid. You haven't tried the game yet. The game is fan-fucking-tastic, all right? Wuthering Waves story sucks. I haven't finished the story personally, and I do believe the story and how you feel about it will vary from person to person. But if the overall feeling in the streets is going to be the story is bad, well, that's okay. They can always bring it back in future patches. And I don't know about y'all, but for Honkai Star Rail, I do feel like Penacony beats Belobog. Okay, the Qianzhou sucked. I'm not going to sit here and pretend the Qianzhou wasn't It's a decent story, but nothing too crazy. Penacony is insane. Am I nuts, chat? Like, Penacony is freaking superb. Yeah, Penacony will speak, I feel like. Yo, chat, type 1 if you think Penacony was peak Honkai Star Rail. Type 2 if you think Belobog all the way. Now, why am I bringing up Honkai Star Rail Penacony? Because that's the story that came later. A year later, right? So it wasn't there day one. So just because the story is bad now doesn't mean it can't be fixed. And from a company that hear our cries, hear our troubles, responds immediately, and most importantly, effectively, I refuse to believe that the story will not pick up and become better as we go on. So Honkai Star Rail proves to us that, well, stories can become better as time goes on. I'm sorry, but they can. Yep, that easy. And finally, we have the English VAs sucking. Now, this is a problem from the female characters, not the male characters. I do feel like the male characters do a fantastic job. I think Scar's VA is awesome. Gion, even the male rover sounds fucking fantastic. Like, Genshin's VAs are obviously fantastic. They do a fantastic job at what they do. But the Wuthering Waves English VAs for the females indeed sucks balls. I'm looking at you, Yang Yang. Kuro Games, please fix that shit. Yang Yang sucks. She breaks the immersion by just how calm she is all the goddamn time. She tries to act cute all the goddamn time. It breaks immersion. It breaks the seriousness of the game. Fix that. Fix that. And again, this is an issue that can literally take one patch to fix. One patch. This is not enough to go, VAs, they're just going to ruin the game. No, this literally requires one patch.
One motherfucker.
One patch for it to be completely fixed. For story, it might take longer because some stories require some build up to get a great punch. But for VAs, one patch is more than enough to fix it. Chat, did I miss something?
I found somebody who don't play a lot of gotcha games by his words, which can contribute his opinion to this video. Check this tweet.
Okay. I'm not insane though. Wuwa has a lot of similarities to Genshin. And I'm not talking about, oh, the characters are the same. First of all, the characters are not the same. There are similarities, but they're not the same. Okay. I would say Wuthering Waves characters feel a lot better and smoother, and they have more life than Genshin characters. Oh, the mechanics are similar. I'm taking uncanny resemblances. Like when you go to the tutorial page and they give you one aspect each like Genshin. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Of course, the core formula is based on Genshin. No one can take that away. But it expanded on those mechanics in a major way. That's mostly what we care about. If you want to call Wuthering Waves Genshin Impact 2.0, go fucking ahead. But I don't know about y'all, but I want to play Genshin 2.0. This is like you telling me instead of using a smartphone, I want to keep using a Nokia. That's it. That's over. Like, that's way past its time. Like, it's trash now. Nokia 3300 and gold. Yeah, exactly, that phone. Like, bro, that shit is done. Like, yes, it's a good phone for its time, but it's over. There's smartphones now, and that's where it's at. If Nokia isn't gonna, like, evolve and adapt to the times, I'm sorry, but it's Jover. It's completely fucking Jover. Remember when they had to change Barbara's voice too? And Genshin was similar to Legend of Breath of the Wild. Remember that? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So Genshin can copy, but others can't copy. And it's a problem if we copy Genshin, but it's not a problem if Genshin copies something. Like, bro, what? It goes to show that the Genshin community, especially the toxic side of it, is just very bad. I do believe that I've met some amazing individuals in the Genshin community. And not all Genshin stands are the same. Let me preface this by saying that not all Genshin stands are the same. There are some that are very open to reason, and I don't know about y'all, but I like people that have different thoughts and different beliefs than mine. And we get to have a civil conversation, a good back and forth conversation, where in the end we can always shake hands and just end up as good acquaintances and have a good relationship, all in all. And we respect one another and respect each other's beliefs, right? These guys just don't want to do that. And I feel like those type of stands are the problem, where they're just insanely toxic and just want to cancel you no matter what. There is no respect towards the other side. There's no, oh, let me try it before I say no to it. It's like, it's literally like a bitch saying we don't need men. Have you tried dick before? Have you tried dick before? You might want to try it before you say we don't need men. Go try you some dick. You might change your mind. Steve Jobs even quoted a phrase, good artists copy, great artists steal. So, yeah, just yoink. Yoinking is fine, especially as we see in YouTube and other places in social media. Yoinking is where it's at. No problem with yoinking, man. As long as it's done right, I feel like as consumers, we don't give a fuck. It's not our problem, okay? We're the consumers, ladies and gentlemen, please. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, all we care about as consumers is good freaking products for us to be entertained with. Don't forget that that is the ultimate goal of all this. Is just for us, the consumers, to have good products to enjoy, all right? Eventually, there will be another game competitive with wuwa, like 5 years later. We literally have that around the corner in Azure Premilia. That's happening very soon. Like, and then we get to have a conversation in how Wuthering Waves is gonna age, how is the daily rotation system of Wuthering Waves is, how does it compare to the other games? Is it good? Is it bad? Does it feel good to log in every day to the game? Like, there are still questions to Wuthering Waves, like, that only time will tell, right? So for now, it is very early to say this game is the in-all be-all. That's why I'm not saying that. But the problems that are being thrown right now are just hilarious. Like, they're just stupid, especially if we look at the data that we have. Makes no sense to think that those are like what's effectively going to happen. Like, the data we have of how Kuro Games acts and operates contradicts those things. I'm sorry, but I can't agree with you based on the facts we have. No, you can't. And shut the fuck up if you do. Shut up. You're just being purely emotional. If you don't take that into consideration, you're nothing more than an emotional bitch on her period that should just shut the fuck up and settle down while her period ends or some shit. Mostly, stop being hysterical, shut the fuck up, stop being emotional, and just play wuwa, play it, just enjoy the fucking game. Just play the game, have fun, more toys for you, you dumbass. Damn. Enjoy new good games, people. Enjoy all games. That's why we want Genshin to be fixed. I want to play both Genshin, wuwa, and Star Rail. I want to play all these games. If I want to have fun in my day, I want to have options. I love options, right? I want, what am I in the mood for today? You know what? Let's play some Genshin today. That's enough Genshin for today. Let's hop into Star Rail, man. Let's have some fun there. All right, that's enough Star for today. Let me get some wuwa in, man. That boss the other day, man. I couldn't beat it. Let's do some wuwa, man. All right, man. I finally beat that boss, man. You know what? Let's finish it off with some Azure Premilia. Hey, that was a great day, man. I had a lot of fun. I get you go and do something. I'll probably go crank it to one of the waifus on it. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. But I would love to have this abundance of options where I can have so much activities to do in the niche I like, which is gacha games. I like gacha games, so why not? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the Genshin stands are in the right? Do you think we're in the right, that we are actually believing in Kuro Games' capability to handle these issues? Let us know down in the comments below. As you can see, I stream most days on Twitch. Feel free to hop on. Don't forget to obviously like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you on the next one. See ya.